Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brooklyn. If you're new here, I'm so glad you clicked on today's video. I'm so excited for today's video because I finally get to use my TBR prompt jar, and we are going to use it to pick out my November TBR. I'll briefly go over how it works in case you've never seen these videos before, but basically you pick a prompt out of here and then you're going to pick a book off of your TBR that matches the prompt. Then that book is on your TBR for the whole month. And then I will try my very best to read it by the end of the month. Most people who do these videos have their TBR cart next to them filled with all the books they're wanting to read most as of like right now. But I'm just gonna use all the books that I haven't read on my bookshelves as my selection for this. But I did pick out my 10 before the end because these are my priority reads by the end of the year. So if any of these prompts match these, I'm gonna try and reach for these first. I am gonna rapid fire go through my 10 before the end in case you haven't seen that video, which I highly recommend you go check out. 9 of them are physical books and 1 will be an audiobook, so let's go through the physical books. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Breathe With Me by Becca Mack. Also, can we talk about how gorgeous this cover is? I'm obsessed. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Damaged Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. The remaining books in the Throne of Glass series. Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. Older by Jennifer Hartman and The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. The last book on my 10 before the end is an audiobook, and it is Too Old for This by Samantha Downing as well. Next, I'm actually going to go through my Audible selection. So these are all the books that are currently in my library and I also could choose from. We have Ward D and The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. I've actually only read 2 Frida McFadden books, and it was Never Lie and The Housemaid, and I really liked both of them. So those are really good picks for me if I'm looking for a quick, fast-paced thriller. Then we have That's Not My Name by Megan Lowley. Then we have The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover. I actually don't know too much about this one, but I've heard amazing things about it. It says, a bed and breakfast for the brokenhearted might hold the key to another chance at love in this achingly hopeful debut romance. That one looks super cute, and it is one I have been wanting to read, so maybe we'll get to it this month. Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher. This one was actually free through Audible, and that's why I have it in my library. The Girl Who Was Taken by Charlie Donnelly, which is another thriller pick. Lastly, on my Audible, we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, which is a book that I always see online, specifically TikTok, but I just haven't been in the mood to read it. We've gone through the physical books and the audiobooks, but now let's go through some new releases that I'm excited for in November. I'm just going to talk about these and keep these in mind as we're picking prompts. I did type these out on my laptop, and there are 4 new releases in November that I'm super excited for. First, we have Bad Bishop by LJ Shen. This comes out on November 4th. This is a dark romance. I do really like most of LJ Shen's books as well, so I put it on here. It is a mafia romance, hate to love, arranged marriage, and opposites attract. Then we have 2 books on November 11th. First is Bound by Allie Hazelwood. I don't know too much about this one either, but I do know it's only available on audio, so it definitely is obviously a book I'll listen to, but I will read you guys the little blurb. And this is just the first sentence, but it says, a reluctant con artist and professor with too many secrets are bound together in Allie Hazelwood's intoxicating new dark academia romance. Definitely sign me up for that. Honestly, even if that one doesn't match any of the prompts, I'm gonna try really hard to listen to it this month. Then we have Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This is book 3 in the Mountain Men Matchmaker series. I did read the first 2 books. They're behind my 10 before the end, but I really liked them. They're honestly just super fun, lighthearted reads. I had a great time. I laughed out loud multiple times while I was reading them, so I'm very excited for this one. I know the tropes in this one are marriage of convenience and friends to lovers. Lastly, on November 18th, we have Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. This is an age gap single dad romance too, which I eat up every single time, so I definitely will be getting it and hoping to read it this month as well. Now it's time to pick our prompts finally. I am so excited. I think we're gonna do 6 today. I am a mood reader too, so I feel like if I pick more than that, it might be hard for me to stick to it because I might not be in the mood to read all the books. So we're gonna go with 6 today. I posted an entire video of me creating this as well, so be sure you go check that out. But there are probably like 70-ish prompts in here. I started writing them out and then I got tired, so I typed them and then cut them up. This is so fun. Okay, we have our first prompt. Has green on the cover. Okay, that's blue. That's blue, right? Okay. That one's out. I would say this is also blue. We'll go with that. Rewind It Back has nothing. Hair of Fire does have green, so this is an option. Also blue. A lot of these have blue. I hope we don't pick the has blue on the cover because that would be a crazy decision that I don't know if I could make. Damaged Like Us also has green on the cover, so that is an option. This one's probably a stretch, but there is green on that one, and I really want to read this. So I'm gonna put it in this pile. The Naturals and Daisy Jones and the Six do not have green either, so those are out. As for the audiobooks, That's Not My Name by Megan Lally and The Heartbreak Hotel both have green in the cover too. I was gonna go through my bookshelves and see if there are any other books I want to read that have green on the cover, but we actually have a lot of options, so we're gonna stick with these three. Now I just have to decide which one I want to read, and that is like the hardest part. I know that I'm gonna read Breathe With Me by Becca Mack no matter what, if it gets picked in this video or not, so I'm actually gonna put it back. So I'm honestly down to these two. If I have to sit here and pick between a bunch of books every single time, this video is gonna take me like 3 hours to film, but that's okay. I kind of want to pick Hair of Fire because I want to finish the whole series by the end of the year, and there's 5 books left, so I really need to start working on it. But I also want to choose Damaged Like Us because I have been in the mood to jump back into the Addicted Calloway Sisters series universe. I think I'm gonna go with Damaged Like Us. Our first pick for the month is Damaged Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. On to prompt number 2. An author you've never read. Wait, there's a lot of options for this one too. From my 10 before the end, there are 4 authors I've never read before. So Taylor Jenkins Reid, Jennifer Hartman, Kristen Hanna, and Jennifer Lynn Barnes. As a mood reader, this is gonna be the hardest choice of today, I think, because I know The Nightingale is historical fiction. I've never read historical fiction, and I know it's a very heavy read, which I never want to grab for, like rarely ever want to grab for. And then same with Older, I know it's a heavier tear-jerking read. I'm leaning toward The Naturals because that's the one out of these that I have been like wanting to read the most. And then Daisy Jones and the Six I've literally had forever, and I never want to like pick it up. I think I'll like it when I pick it up, but I just never have wanted to. Guys, I don't know. I'm gonna go with The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes because I think this is the one I'll be into the most and like want to read the most. So we're picking this one. From my audiobook selection as well, there are a lot of authors I've never read before, so I just stuck to that because I knew I would not be able to pick if I had like 8 options instead of 4. So anyway, on to prompt 3. This is literally so fun, guys. I suggest you all do this. A book you've had for a long time. Off to the Races, Daisy Jones and the Sixth, and The Nightingale are probably the books on here I've had the longest. But on my whole bookshelf, I have so many books that I've had for like actually ever. A book that's not on my 10 before the end, but it's on my bookshelf and I've wanted to read it a lot more recently, but I've had it forever, is You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I don't want to pull it out because then I'm gonna have to put it back and it's gonna be a mess. So it's right here. I think that's more of a summer read, so I don't know if I want to read it now. I'm in between Off to the Races by Elsie Silver and Daisy Jones and the Sixth by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If I pick Daisy Jones and the Sixth, I will be listening to it on audio because everyone's telling me it's really good on audio because the actors or like the narrators are different voices for the different characters, and it's really fun. I am picking Off to the Races by Elsie Silver because I just wanted to read this. I really want to start this series and I'm in the mood for a little cowboy romance. Prompt 4. A book that fits the current season. November is basically Christmas, so I do have a lot of Christmas reads that I've recently ordered that I really want to read, obviously before Christmas. So we could do one of those. I am gonna pick a Christmas read and I have a few options, so we're gonna go through them together. I have He Sees You When You're Sleeping by Alta Hensley. This is a newer book. It is a dark romance. It's pretty short too, which is kind of nice. I think it might be a good palette cleanser between the other books. She also has a book coming out following this one called He Knows When You're Awake, and that actually comes out November 4th, so it is a new release that I forgot to mention earlier. But I might read this one because then I can read the second one in December. So this is an option. Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I've also heard great things about this one. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. Christmas in Quincy by Daphne Perry. This is actually a novella, so I probably won't pick this one, but it is in the Eden series, and I love the Eden series, as we all know. Then I have 2 by Megan Quinn, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas and Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. I'm gonna go with He Sees You When You're Sleeping because, again, I think this will be a good palette cleanser because I don't have any dark romance options on there right now. And then I can also read the second book in December. On to prompt 5. A book by an author you love. This was an easy one. It's between Breathe With Me by Becca Mack and Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford because I did love the other books in the series. These are both the 5th and final book in their series too. I think I'm gonna go with Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford because I have been saying I will read this every single month for like 4 months and haven't yet. So it is just time. I think I will read Breathe With Me like I said anyway. So I'm gonna go with Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. Time for prompt 6, which is the last prompt of this video. This one just says fake dating, so we're looking for a book that has the fake dating trope. I don't think any of these have the fake dating trope, so we get to finally look through my actual bookshelf. I get overwhelmed looking at my bookshelf, so I'm looking up fake dating books on Goodreads. I was thinking of Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which is on this list, but it's arranged marriage. Does that count as fake dating? I feel like it should. I'm gonna look up the actual tropes for Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. That is coming out on the 11th, because if that one fits, I'm picking that one. We are counting fake marriage as fake dating, so I'm between Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher and then The Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. I decided to go with Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. I am very excited to read it. I love the rest of the series, and I think it will be a really fun read. The TBR prompt jar has spoken, and we have 6 books we are gonna try and read in November, so let's summarize and go through them together really fast. The first prompt was Has Green on the cover, and we picked Damaged Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the first book in a second generation series that follows the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, which is my favorite series ever. I've been putting off reading this as well, so it is time that we just freaking read it. This one follows Maximoff and his bodyguard Pharaoh, so it's forbidden love, MM romance, which is right up my alley. The next prompt was a book by an author you've never read before, and we picked The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is also the first book in a series of 4, and it kind of gives Criminal Minds. They are like profilers trying to solve cold cases. I do think I'll really like this because I love Criminal Minds, so if it's anything like that, I will be hooked. The next prompt was a book you've had for a long time, and I picked Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. This is also the first book in a series. I did not think this through, guys. We are starting a lot of series this month, but that is okay. This follows Billy and Vaughn. Billy is a horse trainer who's hired to train one of Vaughn's difficult horses. They don't get along, they bump heads at first, so kind of hate to love / enemies to lovers. The next prompt was a read that fits the current season, and I picked He Sees You When You're Sleeping by Alta Hensley. This is a Christmas read, and I'm gonna try and read it kind of toward the end of the month so I get in the Christmas spirit, but I do think this will be a good palate cleanser this month. Next prompt was a book by an author you love, and I picked Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. This is the last book in the Windy City series, which is an amazing series. If you haven't read it already and you like contemporary romances, definitely go check it out. I have been putting it off because it's the last book in the series and I don't want it to end, but I need to read it this month because I've been saying I'm gonna read it every month before, and it never happens, so this is the month. The last prompt we picked was Fake Dating, and I picked The Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This one comes out on November 11th, so obviously I don't have the physical book with me, but I will be ordering it probably today, just so I get it out of the way. That was such a fun video to film. I definitely will be doing these every month from now on. If you guys did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you guys did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I can see you back here next time. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have read any of these books, or let me know what is on your November TBR, because I would love to add more books to my never-ending TBR. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!